Hey you guys, so hopefully you guys doing well. My name is Shafiq. Today I want to share about PMBTECH, how I see this counter, why I bullish with this counter, what is my thought process on this counter. Okay, so those in FACADEMY Discord, right? FACADEMY Trader Discord, you guys know that I'm bullish with PMBTECH. I've been holding this position for since last month, because I I saw the accumulation. I don't want to miss out this counter because if you see this uh, kind of movement in PMBTECH, the pattern of the characteristic of PMBTECH is it doesn't wait for you lah, right? Once it break out, want to want to fly, want to go up, just go up, right? So what I see here is basically accumulation pattern, right? And I already shared this last month. So this is our Discord, right? And I mentioned that this is probably accumulation phase C, right? But it's actually not phase C, right? It's still probably phase B. What I meant by phase B, phase C, all these is basically accumulation Wyckoff schematic, right? So if you see here, right, this is basically phase A, this is phase B, and this phase C now currently is phase D. Okay, so the idea is in a primary trend move, right, the market will do a correction, right, and before what happened during correction is people taking profit, so you go down to retracement until at a point that people think it's cheap enough for them to accumulate again. So in this case, probably it might be like big money lah, right? Institutional and whatnot. So the idea is after this accumulation and distribution will be followed by a markup stage, right? Probably it will continue the trend. Okay, so we spot this as a accumulation and distribution phase, right? We bias to say this is accumulation phase because of the good fundamental of PMB tech, right? I'm not really an expert on the fundamental of the PMB tech, but I just enter this because I know it's good fundamental, right? At the same time, the TA is attractive. Okay, so why I think TA is attractive because if you follow our market outlook, you know that we plan to be less aggressive, right? We want to be very careful. So this is also on the hindsight that on December we actually not making good return. So what happened last year is we making 100% on November, but the last month it dropped like 10%, right? So we don't want to lose more, right? We want to go conservative to start off a year with a good year, right? So we've been very careful and we're lucky to be very careful because market have been very very choppy, right? Market has been not choppy, market is downtrend, is sell off, right? So that's why I think the best strategy is we look at good fundamental counter that we actually have the understanding or have information about the fundamental, and put a big concentration, right, to as a hedge against a short term silly mistake, right? So I put a lot of concentration on Gentech and PMBTech. So time to time I play short term counter, right? But doesn't works well. It doesn't works well, as you know, in this difficult market, right? So um, some doing well, like for example Agia, some doing well, uh, like Hancock first few days, right? So yeah, all this is basically this is our strategy lah. That's why I've been holding PMB Tech, right? Basically because I see this accumulation, and I think, right, as long as the accumulation still there, right, still in play, is basically a safe play lah, right? So I saw this accumulation. I already mentioned about phase A, phase B, phase C, and phase D, right? So what happened is during phase C, the price is testing the demand, right? So we see few spring tests, right? After that, enter phase D, which is a break over the fence, right? Break the trend line, and during this stage, you can see that we have signal candle here showing that there's a strong volume coming in, right? And also trade outside the normal volatility range, right? So this is first signal candle. So when we see this first signal candle, we straight away use this as our support, right? So from here on, we use this as our support. Okay, so the next day it tests this support and continue go up, right? So this is how this is what happened with PMBTech. All right, this is confirmation candle that confirmed this signal, right? Basically, break out from this signal, you break out from this candle signal, right? But this is still not a not a markup signal, right? It's not it's not a start of markup yet, right? Because in phase D, what happened is you test the supply on the resistance line. So if you draw our resistance line, right? This is our resistance line, right? Around this area, okay. So this is our resistance line. It's testing our resistance line, but as you see, right, yesterday candle, the candle is not a very strong supply test. Okay, not to say it's unsuccessful, not to say it's failed supply test. It's just that it's not strong. Okay, the volume is low, but it closed with green candle with upper long shadow. Right, it's not strong supply test, lah. Right, but still, actually with 50-50, we don't expect today is going to break out, right? But with this information, right, what I expect to see next is probably going to test the supply again, because this supply test is not strong enough, and in fact this candle, the price go up today is not supported by strong volume as well. So we might see the price testing the resistance become support, right? Testing the support again, um, to test the supply whether it's strong or not, to push the price to mark up, right? So that is my opinion on PMBTech. Why I bullish with this counter, right? Little bit of history, why I choose to be conservative, why I put my concentration of money inside this, right? So all in all, this is where PMB tag right now. So my suggestion, if you already build position early on, right? I think if you don't want to miss out the rally, if there's any, you can buy a few tranche, right? But if you not enter yet, my suggestion is probably wait for little correction, right? No need to be like drop a lot, right? It just like drop little bit, maybe half of this candle, or maybe test this support again, right? Before really showing the supply is strong to push the counter further. Okay, so I create this video to be educational video, right, and sharing my outlook about the market as well as my technical strategy. So hopefully you guys learn something, and stay in the market. Bye.